Hey, Lost on Land Lola again. She's lost on land, lost on land again. Good video here. Check it out. Can you live in a van if you have mobility issues? The answer is definitely yes. She says she does have some issues with walking and stuff like that, and she gives some very good advice as to some tips on, especially when you're living in a small vehicle like she is in a van, how you can best do that, and one of the things is she says she loves her bike. She has a bike that she can ride. That's not too much, issue for her. So she, plays a game of Tetris in the back. She says, she needs to take her bike with her because that's important for her mobility issues. Exercise for a lot of folks helps with their mobility issues. It limbers them up. They always say that if you can get out and walk, even if it's a little bit painful, sometimes that's a good thing. It keeps the joints lubricated. I'm getting into too much detail, aren't I? Anyway, she takes her bike with her, and she tells how she has to play a game of Tetris by getting the bike kind of latched up to the file cabinets, and then it is it's an interesting issue because then when she gets, needs to get into the file cabinets when she's doing some work, or I guess she has some other stuff in the file cabinets when she's on the road. It's just to get the bike out of there and move it, and that's interesting. But anyway, good video here. Talking also about where you park at a campground. Try to get a space near the fire ring, near the picnic table, so you don't have to walk real far. And a lot of good tips for you. Check it out. She's a lady that does the what's it called? The Lollapalooza meet up there every fall there in Texas, including this year, Abilene, October 20-something through the 20-something. I forget the dates, but me and Papa Texas may be doing a breakfast for the Lollapalooza this year. It's still in the works. So anyway, check her out, Lost on Land Lola. Boo, 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 boo. I always think of that. Always think of that when I Nomad visits the Devil's Tower there in Wyoming. Yeah, what was Richard Dreyfuss. Maybe she'll find Richard Dreyfuss in the parking lot, and that'll be her dream guy. I don't know, man. I don't know. Anyway, nice video here from Carolyn there, Wyoming, Devil's Tower, and I don't know, man. An interesting little story here I had never heard. Apparently, the Indians refer to this as the bear. Use a bear moniker for this because there are a lot of bears around there. They don't call it the Devil's Tower. They call it the Bear Tower, the bear whatever. So anyway, all right. Oh, the rest of the story. We got a new one from Maddie Van Halen. Maddie is stuck there in Nashville. He's been working on his solar panels. He's got warp panels up there, and he's been doing some stuff. Anyway, you can watch his videos for all that. He does say though that he does have some. What is it? He has some. I don't know what it was. When he was working, he had some sort of a back issue, and he's waiting on some health care advice. There's some sort of a health care claim he has put in with his employer, and he's waiting on the resolution of that in order before he goes out and does his traveling. And he was saying that he originally planned to get out on the road back in April, then it was June, and now he's heard, at least they say, they will have this thing all resolved by September. So that's what he says. So, there we go. There he is. So, he wants to get that resolved before he gets on the road and does some of his preppy camping. That's right. So that's the good and the bad. The good news is it's getting resolved. The bad news is he's still got to wait. Hey, that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. An abandoned motel that, I like that. I like the way the people have, someone ought to buy that, fix it up, make it a regular hotel again, a motel again. I don't know about the economics of that. New one from Ausia and John. Ausia and John are heading east. They're from Arizona, and they will eventually end up in Iowa, where they meet full tiny house. But with this time shifting, it's like Star Trek. Everybody's in a different time time period. You know, they're still in the past, and Dana and Steve are in the future. Anyway, some nice southwestern touristy stuff here. Abandoned stuff. Yeah, it's interesting. It's very interesting. You know, I would like to see a collab maybe between Ausia and Dan Bell. You know, Dan Bell does a lot of abandoned. He used to do a lot of abandoned things. I haven't seen too much of him lately. Yeah. There's your hotel room. Isn't that beautiful? How much did you paid $150 a night for that, huh? I don't know, man. Okay, so his name is John, and he wears a t-shirt that says Mr. Dean on it. So, you know, I mean, there was a John Dean, you know, that John Dean Watergate fame. Look it up on Wikipedia. I don't know, man. I don't know. Mr. Dean. It's Mr. Dean to you. I'm not going to show any video of this, but we have the guy named Derek. This is Dramatic. What's his name? Why do I always point there? Because I used to have a map there. The guy that has a house in Illinois, and he has to show the gigantic Mickey Mouse collection that he has collected over the last year or so. Many trips all over, a lot of it from thrift stores, okay? Lots and lots and lots and lots and lots and lots of Mickey dolls and stuff like that. And he has them all in his house, the house that he's bought last year there in Illinois. And it takes up quite a lot of, I think it took up part of the laundry room and part of the living room. And then he's got arcade games out there everywhere. And so anyway, I don't know, man. Anyway, so that's an interesting video. He is apparently heading east, but at the moment, at least his current videos show him back at his house with the rain and his Mickey collection. So it is interesting to watch some of these nomads and what other stuff, you know, floats their boats, you know. I mean, you know, what other interests do you guys have? Some guys get into Bitcoins, and other people get into, you know, RC cars and Mickey Mouse dolls, and other people, you know, I don't know. Everybody has their hobbies and their interests, and it is interesting. Cooking, a lot of cooking. A lot of things floating people's boats out there. Hey, got Lori's Way there at the Grand Canyon South Rim. Nice video there. If you've never been to the Grand Canyon, believe it or not, I haven't been there. I've flown over it several times as I fly to Vegas and stuff, but I've never actually been there. It's pretty pathetic, you know. I've never been to Disney until a couple years ago, and I'm like in my, you know, I'm old. I don't know. My family just never did that cross-country trip. I don't know, man. Oh, poor Dave. He never had a childhood. Oh, some of these nomads never had a childhood. What else have I been watching? You know, on mornings when I don't have a lot to talk about with the nomads, we talk a little bit about what else have I been watching, because I watch a lot of other stuff besides the nomads and stuff like that. Universe Inside You, Lucid Dreaming, How to Astral Travel. The interesting stuff there. I was, you know, I don't know. I have a very big open mind. Human creation story, what they don't want you to know about the Anunnaki gods. It reminds me of listening to Coast with Art Bell and George Norrie. They often talk about stuff like that. Very interesting stuff. Jeff Marshall, he's the British dude. He likes to look at all the transit stuff in England and goes out with a friend. Nottingham is a nice little town there in central England, and hangs out with the trams. That's a really nice video. Photo Induction. Guy, oh God, I can't remember his name. Anyway, he was off of YouTube for many, many years. I don't know. He had a wife, and I don't know where the wife is now, but anyway, he is now back to blowing things up and doing electrical experiments and stuff like that. This is kind of creepy. Testing a 50-year-old Mercury arc rectifier. You know, he's got it in his house, and he's got all this voltage. He's there in England. It's got all this mercury in it, and you're just like, oh my goodness, what if that were to leak? You know, get all over the place. Ugh, I don't know, man, but it is fascinating. Scotty Kilmer, 5 sides your transmission has a serious problem. You know what Scotty's doing, and I'm noticing this now? He is recycling a lot of his old videos. You know, he's the guy that does all the car repair stuff. You know, he moved to Cookeville, Tennessee from Houston, Texas a while back. But a lot of his videos that are popping up now have stuff that he shot back in Houston. I think he's just re-editing and recycling a lot of his old stuff. But what the heck? If it works and gets you millions of views. Lost in the Pond there, a guy in Chicago talking about, he's a British dude that's lived with his wife in Chicago for many years, why British and American bedrooms are very different. Jeb Brooks, I always enjoy watching Jeb Brooks. He is from Greenville, North Carolina, and he does a lot of he usually does plane stuff, but he also does a lot of train stuff. So he and his girlfriend take the Amtrak from Washington, D.C. up to Boston. And they don't have a very good time. Let's just say that, okay? The rail lines are very bumpy, and they do an overnight trip, and let's just say that they didn't get, neither one of them got very much sleep, and it wasn't because of that. It was because of a very uncomfortable ride there. The trains are noisy and cluttery, and there's not a lot of room. And he doesn't have a very good review here, even though he is kind of attracted to the beautiful nostalgic of rail travel, and he's done some Western trips. Yeah, his girlfriend gets maybe 10 minutes of sleep all night. And she's, they both feel very jet lagged when they get to Boston, and they're saying, even though the trip did not even involve crossing a time zone, they wake up in the morning and they feel like they've traveled to Europe because they got no sleep. This is, of course, getting up to Washington's Union Station, and it's pouring rain and it's miserable weather, but anyway, so I don't know, man. Got our shot of Union Station in the rain up there in beautiful Washington, D.C. Ooh, I miss that place. And of course, lots of fine eating there at Union Station. Yeah. Oh. Mm-hmm. One of the things Jeb always says when you're on a train is the 3 Ps: prunes, power strips, and pillows. Prunes because he says the food is really, especially on American Amtraks, it's not loaded with a lot of fiber, and you may have constipation issues. A Jimmy Dean muffin sandwich. Mr. Dean again today. Somebody's sending me messages about Jimmy Dean or James. Jimmy or James? Which Dean do you mean? You get, constipation is a big issue because of the food. The power strips, because a lot of these, if you're taking, they don't have a lot of outlets in these train compartments, and you will definitely need more of them. So always put a power strip in your luggage. And pillows, because the Amtrak pillows really, really, really are terrible. You need something better. This good video here, Nick Johnson. He's also from North Carolina, exploring Chicago's ghetto side. This is why America will never be truly great. Again, very good video, driving around some nasty neighborhoods of the Chi-town there. He does a lot of that. It's sad. It's sad what a lot of American cities have become these days. So I don't know, man. I don't know. Schlanty Ron driving around beautiful Northern Virginia. It made me homesick to see a lot of this stuff there. It looked like Middleburg or something. Middleburg out there, Loudoun County. Some gorgeous stuff. Good video there from Noel Phillips, British guy. I love watching a lot of British dudes these days. I don't know why. The abandoned airport there near Sheffield, where they literally, it's all grown up and turned into an industrial estate, as they say in England. It's an estate. What else do we have here? Oh, Camo Dave, good video. Oh wait, do I watch my own videos? Absolutely. That'll do it. That ought to do it. You have, I could keep going on this, but I won't. Thank you so much for watching. It is Tuesday, rainy Tuesday here in beautiful Morganton, North Carolina, and I don't know, man. They say the rain's supposed to stop by noonish, and then I can get out and do some hiking, so I will be sane. But anyway, you have a wonderful rest of your Tuesday. Thanks for watching. That's about it. I guess I got everything talked about. Good night. Goodbye. Good night. What do I say? Vlog on.